Yeah, I'm going to you introduce that, because I have some thoughts for the end. I want to hear all of your thoughts first. I'm going to be quiet, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. But anyway, go on.
So hopefully, I hope everyone here read the CNN article. I'm guessing you did, because it's been such a slow news week. This is like the biggest thing to happen. But CNN published an article about the Hunger Games called "What Exactly is Hunger Games?" And I thought this initially was awesome, because the more mainstream, broad news coverage that the Hunger Games gets, the better it is for the fandom and for us. I think it's incredible that CNN did a feature on the Hunger Games. But after reading the article, I was a little put off, just because I feel like it doesn't project an accurate depiction of what the series is actually about. It really makes it sound Twilight-ish. Specifically, the author mentions Katniss's hot friend, Peeta. And, it's like Peeta is never described as being really physically attractive. I mean, he's not ugly, of course, but he's never described as being, like, really good-looking like Gale is. And, I mean, he's not even her friend. So I found that whole terminology to be very strange. And then another thing that stood out to me, and I know, Jenn, this bothered you as well, was the sentence that says, Katniss's emotional turmoil of love or death makes Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet look like child's play. And it's sort of compared to Romeo and Juliet and Twilight. I don't know. I'd love to hear what all of you guys thought about it. And Jenn, if you want to start, you can. I know you have some strong opinions.
I understand that this article was based for, mainstream media, which is fine, but I really personally expected more from a news outlet that's very superior, such as CNN. And then when I read the article, I thought, all right, that's great that, they gave the basic summary, but then, hot friend with Peeta, the really terrible parallels, and then moving on to saying, I think I have an excerpt right here. The relatively unknown actors Josh Hutcherson and Liam Hemsworth would provide plenty of eye candy for the film. I understand that, yes, there are fangirls out there who probably will be watching the movie because, let's face it, the actors are very nice to look at. But, I think it's way above what the story really is about, and I don't think it depicted it in that great of a light because of that, so...
I agree, and another thing I found strange was this mention of the nearly $100 million budget. I mean, it's an $80 million budget, and it has been. We've known about that for months. So I just thought it was strange that she would write, the hype has pushed the movie to nearly $100 million.
Well, technically it is $100 million, but they got $20 million in credits from the state of North Carolina for shooting there. So if you look at it technically, it's actually $100 million, but the $80 million is what we're hearing because that's what Lionsgate is putting for the movie. The extra that they're referring to, which it didn't make sense that they didn't credit it that way, but from everything we read,
that makes sense though.
They got. I mean, those are just tax credits that they got. So. But
what do all the rest of you think?
I was going to say, if I could point out one other thing, though, Savanna, they do state, and I don't think this was here originally when I read the first article, but I saw Shyla post something about it being an op-ed piece, and CNN has added to the piece, it says, editors know, and like I said, I don't believe this was here the first time I read it. It says, Amber James is an editor at Cellabuzz.com. So this isn't a CNN person writing this. I can't remember. It's been a while since I read it, and so I wasn't sure. But either way, it whether or not it reflects CNN's view or not, this isn't a CNN writer that's doing it. So I don't know. I mean, whether or not, I guess you could say whether or not it was in good taste for them to post the article itself, but I don't know if we can bash CNN itself for writing the piece. So.
No, I think that editor piece was there. It was there when the first time I read it, and I was like, oh, I guess that explains why it sounds so gossipy, is because it's written by Cellabuzz. I think they had one other CNN article that was written by a different editor from that site. But yeah, I remember that seeing that from the beginning. But
okay, well,
thanks.
Like I said, I read it, and when I read, I just remember seeing the tweet come across my screen and being I'm like, oh, great, CNN's talking about it now. And then when I clicked over to it, like I said, I read the article, but I didn't remember that, so I'm glad that you corrected me on that. But I think the only thing that really, I mean, there's pieces of it that bother me, but I think the thing that bothers me the most is when you read it and you can tell they obviously have not read the book.
Right.
They've only read other articles about it, or they've only heard people talking about it, and that comes so clear in this piece, and that's what bothers me the most.
No, I totally agree, and I think, and you'll probably agree with me on this, I think that the sentence that kind of bugs me the most and really indicates that she probably didn't read the series is, it's kind of near the end, but she writes that she's talking about like the controversy surrounding Jennifer Lawrence being cast, and she says, both fans and critics question the choice, believing she was too old, too blonde, and too pretty to play a ruthless warrior. And I know, like, that's like those are the last words that we'd ever use to describe Katniss. You know, she's not ruthless, and she's not really a warrior. So that kind of really annoyed me. But just because I think it gives a false impression, you know, of what this is like.
Well, the other inaccuracy, too, is she says that he declares his love for her in the arena, when I'm pretty sure we all know that he does that before, right? So I guess it sounds better.
I feel like she didn't research enough, honestly, when she wrote the article. I mean, it was written well. It was, like, in terms of structure. But I think she should have chosen some different word choice and, you know, a different way to kind of describe what the story really is all about. So
I think she should have included the word "the" in the title too. That really bugs me. So what is Hunger Games?
Yeah, what exactly is Hunger Games? It should be the Hunger Games.
There.
Just FYI, Kait from Victor's Village is here now, in case you're listening, and we're eagerly awaiting her. Hi, Kait. And I'm sorry, I still don't have a sound effect for you, but I'm going to get on that, I promise.
No problem.
Adam, I know you don't necessarily feel the same way that we do about this article. Did you want to share your perspective?
I do, and I don't want to challenge anybody here.
The whole point of this show is to debate and challenge and discuss. So, I mean, don't be shy about voicing your opinion.
And there is something a little bit different about me compared to the rest of you. I think we all know what it is. So I often feel a little different just in my own way. So it's nothing new to go against the grain. But I really, really love this article only because of the publicity it brought to the Hunger Games. And honestly, maybe I'm more easygoing about this stuff, but I just don't get upset when they say the hot Peeta Mellark or something like that. You know, first of all, a lot of women, from what I understand, think Josh Hutcherson is pretty decent looking, so that may not even be a lie. But secondly, you know, why are we trying to run away from Twilight comparisons? It's not even about whether Hunger Games is better than Twilight. It's the fact that Twilight was an extremely successful movie series, and if the Hunger Games produces those kinds of numbers at the box office, or maybe even better, that's something to be excited and proud of. And I don't think we should be so afraid to be compared to that, just simply on the grounds that the writing is of higher